Hello, everyone. It's GT time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us, as always, is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones.
I review games and other things.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Yep.
In the super seat this week, Michael Huber.
Hello. I was going to say hola, but then I said hello.
Making it all happen in the booth, Ian Hink.
Hi.
You all are cracking me up with your intros today. First of all, why I review games and other things?
It's that time of year which it feels like all I do. It's just one moving
Right.
from one review to another. We like Rochambeau for a review the other day, but they're like, "Why you reviewing that? I'll review." Okay, well you review that and I'll take this now. Swap, review swap.
Is that what a Rochambeau is?
No.
Hey, isn't that Rochambeau?
Well, I guess so, but I don't see how that applies.
I always think of South Park. Kick to the nuts. That's Rochambeau. Whoever falls on their knees first loses.
So we don't know we don't know what Rochambeau means.
Is it like?
Corrections
It's just
music.
rock, paper, scissors.
Speaking of corrections,
Yeah. Is it like what you call it from the Deer Hunter? Roulette. Russian
That's
roulette.
Russian
Oh,
roulette.
that's Russian roulette.
Different than that.
Come on, Jimmy.
is there a Russian Rochambeau?
So,
Rochambeau?
Huber, as you are in the super seat, this question, we have a very serious question for you. Would you rather be a new Power Ranger or a new Ninja Turtle?
New Ninja Turtle.
Why?
Because Ninja Turtles are better than Power Rangers.
Okay, so here's the thing you get as becoming one of the new Ninja Turtles. You can be you can be Michael Huber, you'll be accepted as part of the team, or we can give you a canister of ooze, and you can mutate yourself with any animal you could feasibly find.
Canister of ooze.
Okay, then what are you mutating with?
A bear.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yep.
So there's like a bear Huber, and you're joining the Ninja Turtles.
I can't remember a bear in there.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
What were Bebop and Rocksteady?
That was
A
Boars?
rhino and a
And a
boar,
warthog.
Yeah.
Warthog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be buddy. I'd have an uneasy alliance with them, but still have allegiance with the turtles.
Hold on, what do you mean by that?
Like
They hate the turtles.
I know.
But they have a mutual respect
yeah.
with Huber.
'Cause-
Huber.
Yeah, because we're not
Hugh Bear.
Because we're not turtles.
I knew there was something in there, and I couldn't get
Yeah.
Hugh Bear. Damn
That's a
you,
Hugh
Ian.
Bear.
Damn it.
It's like Casey Jones. If April O'Neil was never there, Casey Jones would have an uneasy alliance.
There's a capital H, lowercase u, all caps, BEAR.
This is so
Exclamation point.
And I think you might be the guy who really builds that bridge, maybe convinces them to stop hanging out with Shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah, brings them over to the fold, onto the good side.
Cool.
Awesome.
More
Yeah.
powerful than ever before.
Well, that's the thing. Is like if Shredder gets kidnapped by someone that the turtles also want to stop, and so it's like, well, we might as well work together.
Yes.
Thus, meaning the bear.
Yes.
Thank you for taking that question seriously, Huber. We do have to move on to corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Michael Bay did not direct the most recent Ninja Turtles movie. He merely produced it.
Interesting. Okay.
While Patch Adams is mostly based off of the real-life Patch Adams' life, a viewer has assured me that he never had a girlfriend that was murdered, so I shouldn't feel bad for that character. Which is a weird thing. If a made-up character in a based on a true story gets murdered, should you feel bad? I still feel bad, but at least that wasn't a real person in real life. Only 2 out of 9 Far Cry games star a dude bro.
Oh. Whoa. Oh.
Yeah, it's just like those 2 more recent ones, but otherwise,
Just
really,
2 and 3.
What is dude
3
bro
and 4.
classification? Did
3
you
and
just
4.
look at a picture of the guy and go like,
Have you played 3?
No, dude bro.
there was no debate whether 3 was a dude bro
Yeah.
or not. Yeah.
The main guy of 3, all of his friends, they're all douche bros. Even
just
the
wonder how-
girls.
Can-
Yeah, I mean, they're just
Can
like
you tell
really
me
rich
looking at
kids
a
on
picture
vacation.
of like dude bro?
Have you seen the show Ghost Adventures?
Yes.
The main guy of that with the
Totally,
spiky hair is
totally.
a douche bro.
Yeah.
Well, the funny
No, it's a dude bro. Douche bro is not a thing. We can't. That was a
Dude
slip
bro
up.
and douche bro, they're both the same.
Oh man.
But the thing
Like
is,
I imagine the ghosts giggling.
Yeah, they're like, we're not
"Shh,"
gonna,
the guy's
we're
like,
not gonna
I kinda-
show
I kinda
up
wanna
for
say
this
something.
asshole.
He's been talking for 2 hours. Like, no, just don't. It's so
Yeah.
good.
This guy's such a weirdo.
the funny thing is too is like it's one of those things where he's not on the cover. You don't really see much of him. It's a first-person game, so like when you do see a picture of him, it's like, wait, that's me?
Yeah, you're like, oh, gross.
Far Cry 4 is definitely not a dude, bro.
Wasn't he?
Far Cry 4 is one of the dude bro games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're there to spread the
Yeah.
ashes of your dead mother.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like,
really
the
think
very
so.
dude bro thing to do.
You're not there to spread the ashes of your dead mother. You're there to spread the ashes of my dead mother. And get some brewski.
That one's a stretch. 4 is a stretch.
I appreciate the clarification. Dragon Quest Heroes: The World Tree's Woe and the Blight Below is not the first Dragon Quest Heroes game, so it couldn't be called Dragon Quest Heroes.
Ben and I basically, Ben first, but the best name that this should have had was Dragon Quest Warriors.
Disagree.
Yeah.
A lot of commenters gave Ian a hard time for his pronunciation of Warwick Davis, because you hit that second W.
Oh,
It's not just Warwick Davis?
No, it's like Warwick.
Yeah, in England it's Warwick. I don't know anything about that person.
Wait,
No.
is there not a second W?
There is.
You just don't pronounce it, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
CompUSA
All right,
was a
thank you.
thing.
CompUSA!
Wait,
Hubert remembers
Yeah,
it.
sure.
when did that come up? When
talked-
did we not know that CompUSA
We talked
was
about
a store?
PC retailers, and I said, "Is CompUSA a thing?" And then there was like 3 seconds of silence, and we continued.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is a
was.
thing. Hubert, wait, like, do you love CompUSA?
I remember it fondly of always just going in there, looking at the parts, looking at the graphics cards, looking at the PC games.
I definitely bought PC games at CompuServe.
In
Man,
huge
sure.
boxes.
Steam put PC game sales out of business. Like, Target, I think, has a PC game section, and it's just like The Sims is
Yeah,
half of it, and
sure.
then Blizzard is the bottom half, and then a couple
There's-
just like
Farming
just like
simulators.
CD discs in there. Just
There's a lot
loose.
of. There's also like a huge collection of those like hidden item games,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
mystery.
yeah. I Spy.
Hidden item. Well, no,
Yeah.
no, like murder mystery, like find the clues.
Like games that come
games.
preloaded.
Like
on
Batman
your
and Robin
computer.
Activity Center.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like Sacraterra.
So it's not dead yet. Lastly, Anders has come back. So we've had a lot of debate over the last few corrections about how valuable a solid-state hard drive is for a PlayStation 4. This is a very long comment, so we're gonna have Brandon, professional voiceover personality, read through this entire comment from Anders.
I try to have as little personality as possible. I never said SSD doesn't increase performance. It totally does. What I was talking about was the difference in gains between upgrading from the stock 5400 RPM HDD to SDD contra upgrading to an SSHD SSD HDD hybrid, which also reduces access times, which gives almost as much of a performance increase as going to an SSD, but also gives you several times as much storage space per dollar. According to tests by Digital Foundry, going from the stock 5400 RPM HDD to a 7200 RPM HDD gives almost as much performance increase in most cases. In fact, they recommended just going with the larger 5400 RPM drive instead due to the lack of significant performance increases. But don't take my word for it. There is a link to a Digital Foundry's tests, including videos comparing load install times with stock 7200 RPM SSHD and SSD drives. The SSD wins, but usually only by a second or two, and with the $1 GB price that is about 5 times higher, it's really hard to justify unless you're paying just for bragging rights. It definitely isn't the huge change in performance you get by switching from HDD to SSD on your computer. Clearly, access time isn't the chief limiting factor for load times, because then we would see huge improvements when switching to SSD. But as we clearly see, that is just not the case. So perhaps it isn't the limited bandwidth of SATA 2 or even SATA 3. Might not have made a difference, I will grant that. It may be something else in how games are strictly optimized for the stock drive that limits performance gains. But the fact remains that PS4 users will find a significant reduction in loading times by upgrading to an SSD is simply not true, as shown by real-world tests. P.S. For what it's worth, Computer Engineer here is actually not worth anything at all. Presenting actual facts, analysis, and empirical data on the specific problem, however, is. PPS, Computer Engineer here too. Not that it matters.
End correction music. So I think
Wow.
that's the end
Well
of the
said.
saga, right? That's it. That's the end of that
the
whole
other
saga.
guy, the other guy is for sure coming back at that. They called him out.
Yeah. Long story TLDR.
I'll read that one
Is
through.
like you can buy a cheaper hard drive for your PS4 that will improve its speed just as much as solid state, or almost as much as a solid state drive would be. Is
Also
the
SATA, I
TLDR.
think.
SATA.
SATA, yeah.
SATA.
So wait,
unprofessional.
The person was saying that you need a 7200 RPM hard drive, and that's better.
That
than
gives
an
you a good
SSD?
boost. It's not better than an SSD, but it gives you a similar boost.
Right.
For
the
way-
for
dollar,
way less money.
dollar to
Way cheaper.
load
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our TLDR.
The only thing I bought on Black Friday last year was a solid state drive for my computer.
Whoa.
That's all I got.
Dude, I put
Big item.
on a computer. I think they said that on a computer it's a big
It's
because
it's
I
massive
put
boost. Yeah.
I put an SSD in my MacBook Pro from 2010, where the CD drive used to be. world of difference. I put some more RAM in there too. It's like a new machine. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love
with Witcher, as long as I'm in the same region, like if I fast travel, it just like fades to black, and then I'm there.
All right, everybody, that's been Tech Talk. We'll see you next week here on GameTrailers. All right, so let's talk about video games. Oh boy, so normally I like to lead with a big game. I like to lead with the big news from a big game. We don't have that this week, but I think that this is actually a really interesting story, in how we can talk about it. Rise of Incarnates is already dead. It was announced in 2014, released officially in July 1st of this year, just Thursday, taken off of Steam, and on December 15th will be shut down.
Oh, so
officially.
you can't even like download it now
right
if you
now,
haven't already?
Yeah, if you were curious about it, yeah,
Oh
you
man,
can't go
I
to
was
Steam.
gonna jump in.
Yeah. So
Something about a game getting canceled. It just makes me want
Yeah,
to play it.
And
I
I-
only listen to bands that have already broken up, and I only play games that were canceled.
well, you got to find.
Super hipster.
You know what you can do is buy someone's Steam account who already has
Yeah.
this. I think that a lot of people listening and viewing this are already asking, "What is Rise of Incarnates?"
Right.
I know. I definitely knew what it
It's
was.
like a
I've heard the
multiplayer
name.
action like combat game, but I'm still like not that clear on how it works, and it feels like one of those games is just like, oh, we'll just put this out there and see what happens, and what happens is nobody knew anything about it, and so they didn't play it.
So yeah, it's free to play. It is a free to play. I don't know if it's a was or is yet, from Bandai Namco, and this was a team, like, it's one of their best teams. It's what their fighting games team, who's been working on Tekken and the Soul Calibur games and things like that. This was a big budget game, to be clear to everyone who's just hearing about it for the first time. Rise of Incarnates was PC only, was free to play, and it's just dead. Launching in July and then getting shut down in October is brutal.
Well, you saying free to play now, actually, I think is the only thing that's really been applied to this game that gives it any kind of uniqueness whatsoever, right? It's just a.
No, I mean it's
just an
actually a
arena-based-
pretty unique looking game. Like if you watch footage, it's like what is going on. Like it feels like you have to get your hands on it to understand how it plays.
Oh yeah,
But I think it's that ambiguity that
It's
ultimately was his death now.
No, well, it's death. There was no awareness. Like we kind of knew it was coming out this year, and then it's like, oh, it's out. Oh, okay. There was no like marketing or build up or any reason to like entice people and inform people that this thing was out there.
Yeah, I should say actually, I think the team most responsible for it is the Gundam Versus team. Those games are huge successes in Japan. I wonder if this was like let's make Gundam Versus work in the U.S. Let's not use Gundams. Let's use these crazy, freaky characters who turn into.
It has like a Marvel name. Rise of the Incarnates.
Yeah, what was?
I
Oh
want to be
gosh.
clear though. Important distinction, at least in my mind.
Sure.
It is not called Rise of the Incarnates.
Yeah.
It's
Rise
called
of
Rise of Incarnates,
Okay.
And I
which
think
is
that-
stupid.
I think what you're thinking of is Rise of the Imperfects.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the I was.
I didn't realize until now how similar those
there
names
were
are.
wheels spinning in the back of my head. That's like I don't want to ask that question. But what game was that? Because I remember that thing was terrible.
Oh my God! It's
Marvel
the same
Nemesis, right?
title. Yeah.
That was a whole nother thing.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
No, I think it was Marvel Nemesis.
Oh,
Rise
Marvel
of the
Nemesis.
Imperfects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
It was gonna
thinking-
be a whole
I'm thinking of,
franchise.
the X-Men game you were playing. X-Men.
Destiny.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Good game.
Okay.
Not bad.
Got all that straight.
Silicon Knights, they got it right, kind of. Oh, it's so stinky though. So I don't want to talk about Rise of Incarnates too much because obviously none of us played it. None of us were going to. I want to talk about these types of games because I feel like this happens a lot. I feel like there are these types of games where we can sniff it out. We can look at a trailer and say, "Oh, that won't work. They spent a lot of money on something stupid." Do you feel like? Am I the only one who feels like this happens a lot?
I didn't feel that way from this, but I didn't feel like I knew enough or like it was ready. Like it was just, oh, that looks really cool. I'd like to know more about that. And then later on, it's like, oh, they put that out.
Blood,
Okay.
there was a time in this game's life where you said that looks cool.
Yeah.
What looked cool about
yeah.
it?
Just some of the trailers, the footage, is just, yeah.
To me,
Some of that footage, baby.
really, you too?
That's all he said.
I feel crazy right now because I feel
No,
like
the environment of the first fight I saw in this game, I was immediately turned off. It looked like the city from Devil May Cry 2. It was just this very kind of vacant, Like, oh, these buildings got destroyed, and so these guys are kind of fighting around.
Yeah.
I was curious, like, how the game worked, because there's like weird transformations and stuff.
Right.
Like they'll turn into like, like weird monsters, or like a big giant mech will come in and they'll pilot that around, and that seemed crazy. But it's just like that kind of like, it's the kind of thing where like it's like a sound bite where you laugh at it the first time, then the 50th time you hear it, you're just like, it just doesn't work anymore. Just like, this game might be fun the first time I play as a character, but then, why would I actually spend time with this? So it's why I brought up that when you were talking about free to play, it was like, oh, that seems to be a thing you could actually attach to the game as like a reason you should play it.
Yeah.
Aside from just like, hey, if you like fighting games, here's another one. It seems like a Killer Instinct kind of thing where like it launched we're going to add more to this game, and that's what they're canceling. It's like, we're not going to add any more to this.
So
Yeah.
wait, is
Or
it a
not as much as we
fighting
thought we were
game
going
or
to.
a MOBA?
It's a 2v2 fighting game.
Oh, weird.
2v2.
But it's like an arena.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
side by side or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a 3D arena.
Huh.
2v2. That sounds kind of cool.
That's weird.
Does that sound cool?
You and a buddy?
Would you have given Rise of Incarnates a chance, Huber, or was there never a chance for this
Dude,
game?
I probably, like, if Brad was down, he and I probably would have gone in there and cracked some skulls, busted some heads, but didn't hear about it.
So yeah, I mean, so like another Bandai Namco game, I forget the name of it, the treasure hunting one that's going to be free to play for
Oh,
Wii U.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, there's- I mean,
similarly,
yeah.
right now we can say don't make that game. Like you're going to lose money on that. Stop it.
Because you can just tell it just looks like a cheap game. It just looks like, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a question because some people really like that. Again, if you really like fighting games, I love arena-based fighting games, so I'm gonna play Rise of Incarnates. I don't care. I don't need the game to look any better than it is, or necessarily control any better. But like that just, that just looks so by the numbers. It just looks so like.
But I think that one of the problems, like, we look at Street Fighter V's marketing campaign, right? Like, they put out these trailers, and they're introducing new characters. You don't know anything about them, but they're like making an event of that character and showing you why they're cool. They didn't do anything like this that I know of. And
Yeah.
that's what I think the thing is like they should have been highlighting characters, showing them like what their abilities are, what makes them cool,
But-
and like getting you interested in the game. And it's just like,
But if you don't have
Yeah.
Street Fighter bucks,
Yeah.
do you think it's smarter to kind of announce your game in the beginning when it's going in development, or do you think you should just wait until right when it's coming out, drop a couple trailers, drop a couple bombs right at the end, put all your marketing on the back end, and then release it? Like, what happened in this marketing campaign? Did they run out of money
or is this just
to
a
market
test?
I bet there's trailers out there. I bet there are character trailers for this game out there that we're clearly ignoring.
it? We didn't do our job.
What, there's not. No,
The
that's
thing
not.
is, no, Hubert, that's the question. Should we cover games like this? Should we treat them all with respect? Should we be like, you know
Yeah.
what, Rise of Incarnates could really do
I bet
it?
a ton
No.
of people worked their asses off on this game.
No.
Many did, yes. I think that's a shame. What do you think, Ian?
My thing is like, and I mean, maybe I'm wrong because with this particular game, I can't exactly pinpoint what I think it's cloning, but like, games like this just have, to me, a feel like it's like in the mobile game space where one game is successful and then there are like 4,000 clones. Like Minecraft has like 400 clones.
Dragon Quest is
Yeah.
cloning Minecraft.
Right. And like everything is cloning everything else, and like you just sniff them out immediately. Like there's some MOBA coming out or out already on the PS4 that is free to play. I can't remember what it's called, but I like took one look at it and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're just trying to be this," and it's like C tier copy stuff.
Well,
where
yeah,
it's
you
like,
want to know what that is? It's also from Bandai Namco, Supernova.
oh,
What is
yeah.
Supernova?
Yeah.
It's basically it's like a MOBA, but it looks like they just took all their assets as like a cheap StarCraft copy.
This is fun. I've never heard of
Yeah.
Supernova until this point.
It's real bad looking.
Ben had to do like a preview on it. It was like it's like Dota 2 with like StarCraft assets somebody bought off of Fiverr or something.
Yeah, and I mean, the budgets might not be that ridiculous. I mean, I guess they're obviously going for like, we'll just make a bunch of free-to-play and see what sticks.
But at the same time, it's kind of like the Rotten Tomatoes philosophy now. It's the best marketing for your movie is to make a good movie. If everyone
Right.
likes your movie and you score high on the tomato meter, everyone's going to be like, "Oh man, 97%. Let's check this movie out. Oh, it looks great." Same thing with the game. If this game ruled and reviews came out and everyone was like, "Yo, Rise of Incarnates, this game is awesome. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10." Everyone would hear about it. Everyone would say, "Oh, check
Well,
this out."
That's kind of what's been happening with Undertale, right? Like everyone's talking about the game. I'm like, where did this come from? And this is just sort of like, well, we're gonna put out this unfinished game and see if people like it, and apparently people don't.
It launched with a bunch of characters. I think even if it was finished, Even if it launched with 30 characters, we'd be telling the same story so many months later.
And like, it's weird too because I think Huber's right. I think that's like obviously that's the best way to do things. Is
The
just
best marketing is making a good
is
game.
making a good thing.
Yeah.
But then there are other games that are like inexplicable huge successes, like Warframe, where
Right.
like every human being I've ever heard talk about Warframe, the best thing I've ever heard anyone say is, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all right.
It came out. It was like those moment in time
Right.
things, free to play at the PS4 launch.
But it's
not a
still
lot of
making
games to
crazy
play.
money,
Just download
apparently.
games.
Yeah.
It still
Yeah.
makes like buku bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, who's playing this?
You know what I think Warframe has going for it is actually a unique aesthetic. I think everyone looks like a super freaky ninja, and I think it has.
It
looks
looks like
cool.
MDK to me.
Yeah.
Remember MDK?
Yeah.
God,
I
that
don't-
game was so depressing
like, a
weird
baby?
looking.
Yeah.
Oh God, it
Had
was
to
like
pass on
weird Todd McFarlane stuff.
What do
There
we-
are really good games though that don't get anything. Like they don't get any attention.
Like that World of Warcraft. You guys ever hear about that?
Yeah.
No,
Too bad
like,
that never
I mean,
took
like
off.
Tearaway. It's like they put it out on
Oh, yeah.
PS Vita.
Well, because no one
It
has
had
a
some
Vita.
buzz, and then like
Tearaway
they
is
put it on
delightful.
PS4, and it still doesn't have any buzz.
Yeah. No, that really came and went. To be honest, that was weird.
Because it was perfect on the Vita. It's beautiful on the Vita. That game is amazing. But then now this one just feels like a re-release. So everyone's like, eh.
But like, I'd even put it on Sony. Do you know what I mean? Like, their commercials don't feature Tearaway. They feature all the third-party games because they know they'll sell more.
Yeah.
And so it's like, again, it's like, what is their job? What is our job? Do we feature Tearaway more, or do we feature the games that people care about more?
Well, there's a balance.
If you
Yeah.
want to feel good, play Tearaway.
Yeah, so good.
I liked it on the Vita more than the PS4 though.
Well, to talk to Huber's point though about advertising, like I do think I did, I know a lot of you guys are like not familiar with the trailers. Like I do remember these. I watch all the trailers. Like
okay.
I remember the trailers for this game, and I just recently played Battleborn at an event, at a preview event, and got to try out some new stuff. And they showed off a trailer that I'd seen before that like clearly is designed for fans of Gearbox. It's like it's the humor of Gearbox. It's the like they literally have text that pops up and they're like, if you like this, if that sounds cool, if you like this character, here's this crazy thing he does. If that's your type of game, then
you're
play
an
Battleborn.
8-year-old.
Exactly, but 8-year-olds are like, this is great. It's like it's speaking to their audience. It's not like we are making the next generation of shooters. It's like, no, we're making a very silly, character-based, fun, colorful, crazy objectives, modes you probably haven't played before, a couple of genres like smashed together. That's our game. Whereas like Rise of Incarnates was just like fighting. Like, I need more. I need something else that really clearly says like, either this is the best fighting game you've ever played in your entire life. That's why you need to play it, or it fits into this very specific part of the industry. If you're this type of gamer, I think you would enjoy this. Hi, I'm the developer. I'm talking to you, and like I watched that trailer. I'm like, I don't feel like anybody's responsible for this. I feel like it's just a little gameplay edit
will
for a
say
logo
it
at the
didn't-
end.
It didn't
done.
have a good aesthetic, which
And that- yeah.
again, maybe that's the biggest key is like have something that looks likable.
I would love to hear a trailer for a game like this that's like really something really specific and bizarre, where it's just like super factual, like if you love two-on-two multiplayer arena fighting games set in a futuristic world with body transformations, then Rise of Incarnates is the game for you. It's like,
We'll get a couple-
what?
yeah,
That would have been something.
Actually, a lot of the times the Japanese listings have like really weird, like when it says genre, it's like it's not a genre. It's almost like an anti-genre. It's like specifically like saying something that could only apply to that one game.
But
then it
starting
doesn't-
a genre.
Like stylish
Genre
action, I
begins
think is a
now.
perfect name for a genre. I
Don't
love
make cry.
stylish action.
I love the they've started doing like PG-13 for a scene of sci-fi graphic nudity violence. So it's like really
Ooh.
bizarre specific.
What is
stuff.
that movie?
Just various movies, yeah. It's like a scary image, a frightening image. I think I saw on one of
Yeah.
them. I was like, whoa, what is
at,
this?
at
scene
14
of
minutes
gore.
and 8 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
blink.
we kind of covered how they could have
Three swear
marketed a
words.
game like this better. I think that I don't know. I think that this game there was a problem way earlier than marketing. This game probably should not have been invested into. And I'm wondering how to tell video game developers to stop that.
Stop making Supernova.
Like exactly, Blood. How do we tell them to stop doing that? How do we tell Bandai
I
Namco?
just did, but okay.
Well, none of these seem like
Yeah.
major initiatives, so that's the thing. It's not like, oh no, you're bringing this huge franchise back, and you shouldn't. It's like it's tough to just like jump in front of someone and be like, don't make that small game that has a free-to-play model that you can at any point just stop and work on another project.
They did.
It's
They just ditched it, man.
It feels like that's everything that they're doing. It's
Yeah.
just like little tiny, attempts, and just hopefully one of these will catch and become a huge thing.
I was thinking about free to play and how, from a business side, it's so good because, like, I was thinking about StarCraft because Legacy of the Void's coming out, and Heart of the Swarm came out 2 or 3 years ago, and they constantly maintain it and update it and balance it. Everyone that bought that game did it 3 years ago. They're not really making any money off it other than esports.
Yeah.
And they keep working on it and maintaining.
I think you lose money on esports even.
Yeah, whereas Heroes of the Storm, new skins, new heroes, constantly money, forever coming in. So,
Well, they have BlizzCon, and there's no Bandai Con, is there?
I mean, they have their press days, but not really.
Bandai is all toys. It's like so much of the revenue comes from toys at this point, which is pretty crazy.
Maybe that's what they were hoping for this game.
Yeah.
Crazy characters that want to sell
Sell some
so
toys.
it's like
Yeah,
for
I
a
don't
game
think
to
they have.
survive, for a multiplayer game to survive, do you need a monthly fee because you're constantly going to have to update it, or do you just make it free to play and then just add stuff as you go?
Monthly
That's what
fees
they
don't
think
work.
they
You
can
know,
do.
it's-
That second model is
Yeah.
what they think they can get away with these games, and maybe this will be a big lesson.
yeah.
I think-
Maybe this is just business as usual. Maybe like I get a feeling that like this moment was written on paper when they first pitched the game. They were just like, and we have this out that we can totally pull out, and then I'm sure there's all sorts of characters that are in the conceptual phases that are just
Sure.
throw that in the fire.
Diminishing returns.
Throw 'em
I
into
think
Tekken.
Brandon was right when he said like, because companies have to try things and see what sticks. Because you never know what's going to be a ridiculous success. Like, who would have known that the Dota mod would have taken off the way it has and
Or
invented
Minecraft.
a genre?
Yeah,
right.
dude, you're right.
And-
Yeah.
but like the other thing I would say is like, it's the same as like any project I do or like anything. Like the best advice is if you like it, then other people will probably like it.
Yes,
So
and
like
I think
if
this
someone
is
is
not
making
that.
a game where where if you're working on a game where you just feel like, ugh, gotta go in and make Rise of Incarnates now.
yeah.
Stop
There's
making
someone
that
out
game.
there. If you're a Rise of Incarnates fanatic, let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wanna
I'd
know.
love to read a comment
Yeah.
from a fanatic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Explain why
Yeah.
and
yeah,
what
absolutely.
went wrong.
I want to move on. Speaking of what went wrong, so last week we talked at great length about microtransactions, and then we talked about Destiny, which just added microtransactions last week, where you can spend U.S. dollars or any currency that you have on in-game currency, silver. And you know what? No big whoop. It's all on emotes.
Yeah.
All you can buy is emotes. Here's the thing. When you go to the store has a unique feature in that anything you buy with silver, you can return within a certain length of time. There's a caveat to that. You cannot return any consumable items. There's no consumable items at the store right now. It's all emotes. You can't consume those. So, of course, there are consumables coming. And then, on top of that, a data miner found some interesting
I
things.
love data miners.
Do you really?
Yes.
For, like-
dig in there, see what they're hiding. Yes.
And so, Huber, I read the list of things, and honestly, I kind of don't get them. Can you explain what the data miners found, or miner actually,
Yeah.
found for sale at the store for silver, potentially, like information for?
So there's a list of like 8 to 10 things that range from class-specific boosts, like a Titan instantly boost to level 25, Warlock, Hunter instantly boost to level 25. There's another one that increases the XP gain for your character, so you can just level up to 40 faster. And there's ones that apply to your subclass, because the subclass takes even longer than the main class, that increase your subclass speed of XP gain. But what really got me going was the ones that referred to increase the drop rates in the King's Fall raid. It was consumables to increase the chances of getting better gear when in the raid.
Is it like the thing that Eris sells, where it's like if you have 20 of these, when you beat Kingsfall, you get different stuff?
I would say it's similar to like Zer's 3 of coins. There's an item that you can buy from a vendor that comes on the weekends. His name is Zer. He sells a 3 of coins. You pop it. It's a consumable. So you use it, and then when you kill a scold enemy, your chances of an exotic dropping are high. If it doesn't drop,
7%.
yeah. If it doesn't drop, you can pop another one. It's a consumable. You use it, and the odds are even higher of it dropping until you finally get that drop.
That ain't right.
Keep popping.
I mean, it's fine. You spend strange
But you're
coins
spending,
on
yeah,
it.
strange
like-
coins, very, very valuable currency in the
I
game.
do enjoy the terminology popping.
Popping.
You know, it's just like
It's like pop a pot in World of Warcraft.
I mean, my thing is like all of this is meaningless. Like it's just stuff to get your character to 40 faster, which only takes like 3 hours, 4 hours anyway. And then leveling up your subclass faster is like, yeah, I mean, like
It takes
maybe
4 hours to max level in Destiny.
from 32, yeah.
oh, from 30. Yeah,
Like
30.
where I was
okay.
at, where I was already at in the yeah. But I mean, when you bought the new character or the new when
The
Taken
Taken
King
King
came out, they gave you one thing that levels you to 25.
I don't
a
think
new
these are.
character.
I don't think these are for people. I think they're for you making a new character.
right.
You-
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
right.
what gets me
they're
is
to
the
get you to
drop
40
rates.
in like a day or two.
I mean,
Yeah.
their whole philosophy. Luke Smith. I went to a Destiny event, and the whole big thing about Taken King was yo, we don't want you to buy your weapons from a vendor. Like vanilla Destiny, you would grind strikes, get currency, and just buy the best stuff from the vendors in the tower. That's not fun. It's like, oh, how'd you get that? Oh, I just bought it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they want you to go out in the world, go on some quests, find this epic item or this chess piece or this gun,
Pop some consumables.
pop some
Right.
consumables, find these in the world.
But here's
That's their
the
whole
thing.
big thing. And now they're saying, like, buy this to increase the chances of finding it.
But here's the important thing, Huber, is like doing it the way you want it to be done takes 60 hours or more
But
to get something
reward
good.
any my MMO philosophy of life, World of Warcraft, anything, Warhammer Online, every MMO, you need to reward the dedicated players. That's that type of game. You don't want to reward some guy in World of Warcraft that logs in on the weekend and plays for an hour versus the guy who has his raiding party, he's in IRC, he's talking to his clan, he's raiding, he's taking time off from work, he's fighting to get that gear. Like those
Actually-
people are the ones that need to be rewarded.
Actually, the opposite is true because if you're running a game, the person who's playing it constantly is costing you more money if they're not putting money into the system. This is the same reason that Apple gave up on Final Cut because power users are too expensive, whereas charging soccer moms $300 for Final Cut X is way better business model because you're going to sell more of them. So like people who are getting sick of grinding in a game to get a good item because they're outclassed. They're like, oh, I wanted to do the raid, but it's taking too long. I don't have this much time. I quit
Reward the
Destiny."
dedicated.
No, then they pay, and then you make money.
You're taking advantage of those people
Yeah.
who are not dedicated enough to play the game.
They're a
That is what that
business.
is.
They're a business.
Yeah, that's the
course.
problem. Is you're talking about
Yeah,
like.
but I
Final,
disagree with
Final Cut is software. It's not fun. It's not a video game. The
Yeah.
problem is this is a video game people are spending time in. They're going into this world.
Right. My point is, power users cost you money. Charging people who don't have a lot of time makes you money.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And they want to
yeah.
make money.
They
Completely
do
agree.
want to make money. I
It
shouldn't.
bums me out.
But I think the time dedication versus dollar dedication, like, I mean, whatever. Like, people who are paying money, like if it meant I didn't have to do that frickin' sword quest, I would have paid him like $5 to just be like, give me this fucking
yeah,
sword.
but now you have that sword, man. I'm
That's so
jealous of
odd.
you, Ian. I don't have that sword. That's awesome, man. You
that
have
mission
it.
is the worst. It's terribly designed, and I should not have done it. I should not have wasted my life on that sword, but I did.
I want to read Luke Smith's tweet because he did say, to his credit, we aren't nor are we planning on selling consumables that buff King's Fall drop rates for silver. That is the only thing that he said is untrue. Based off the things that were data mined. He clearly saw the same list we did. That's a stinky leak, I guess. But yeah, that's the only one that he debated. And so it seems like all the other ones level up your subclass.
Yeah,
Those are all
I'm fine
happening.
with that stuff. It's when you start getting into the high-end gear, the stuff that you really need to work for. I mean, because like Ian said, leveling to 40 is no big deal. Like when you get max level, that's when the game really starts. So I have no problem with those.
That's
but
a bit of a gray area, though, Huber. I mean, it's times you're like, here's this thing that's going to cut out, 4 hours of game time. I'm upset about that. Here's this thing that's going to cut out 10 hours of game time. I hate that. Yeah. So it's like I'm not hours, I guess.
No, I'm not
It's like
okay
how
with
much
it. It just
time-
doesn't bother me as much. I still think like when they announced microtransactions, I was so nervous. I said, as long as they're purely cosmetic and have no impact on the game, like I'm okay with that. The King's Fall one is the worst. Those are like the lesser of two evils. That's all I'm
Here's
saying.
another counter argument, Huber, that I just thought of is like, I would agree with you more if it was actual like dedication to reward, right? But like it's random drops. So like
To an extent, yeah.
yeah, but you could get, I mean, yeah, it does key off your light level a little bit, but like my roommate got an exotic auto rifle day one, and he's still using it because it's that good, you know? And like he got that like 3 hours into us playing it. I had to like grind forever to get enough legendary marks to buy this scout rifle because it was like the only weapon, like I had shitty guns for like a week and a half, and it was not fun. And like if I could have increased my drop rate, I don't know.
No. That's a flaw in the game. That's not.
No,
like
yeah,
a,
that's
oh,
what I'm
God.
saying.
Yeah.
This is not a
I'm not a-
well-designed game,
Yeah.
so paying the money to fix a thing is silly. But like, who gives a shit?
I'm not really,
I do.
I'm not really a fan of drop
The
rates.
people out there that are
Drop
putting
rates are stupid.
so much time into this game.
That's
like,
their choice, dude. If I want to put in money instead of time, that saves my life. I die less early in my life having wasted time on Destiny.
I mean, to me, it's,
You can say that about
I
any
would,
game
I would
ever.
prefer
Right.
a system
right.
that's more as like you kill this thing, you know what you're gonna get. If you want to do it again, you get a slightly better version of it. Then maybe if I fight this thing 12 times, the 11th I might get
But
it.
I mean, the problem with that is then people stop playing the game because they have the thing they wanted, and that's not what Destiny wants. They want you to play forever. They want you to be trapped, and now they can charge you to be trapped.
To wrap up the conversation. Oh, actually, yeah. Luke Smith also tweeted that they do plan to change the balancing of drops and things like that. They want to make it a little more lenient, give you better things. He acknowledged that's a problem.
That'd be good. I mean, they've improved it from before, but it's
Yeah.
still not wonderful.
The game has been constantly improved for a year.
So my question is, to wrap up this conversation, should Destiny 2 just be an MMO? Should they just stop doing this?
Yeah.
Well, what does that
What-
mean?
yeah, what-
It's already
what?
an MMO.
Should it
what would
just
they have
be?
to change?
Should it just be like a monthly fee that you pay?
No.
Because
Oh.
I feel like everyone's getting like
No one
shafted
should do
right now.
monthly fees anymore.
I would
That's never gonna work.
say if they could do it like World of Warcraft, where at least every month or every other month you're getting new meaningful content, then why not? By adding more quests, by
People
adding
wouldn't
more
pay.
gear, by adding another raid, by doing that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, like Activision just tricked a huge audience into playing an MMO. They just like, hey, here's a space shooter from
Yeah,
Bungie.
because you're basically doing the same thing, but you're buying it in different ways.
It breaks my heart to hear you
But
guys just grinding.
You
for
think
loot.
about your expectations for like the new stuff that happens to Destiny. Like Taken King came out, and like a lot of people just left. So like I didn't have to cancel a subscription. I didn't like. I'm not sitting there burning $30, $40 in the 2-3 months that I'm not playing the game that I'm constantly thinking about, like, gosh, should I just cancel that? And so then Taken King comes out, and so then if I'm paying a subscription, then I have the idea that, like, this better be great.
Yeah.
Taken King better be really, really good because I've given them a lot of money and I better get that money back. Versus, yeah, Destiny, whatever. And all of a sudden, oh, Taken King's good? I'll play Taken King. And then now I'm back.
I get
And
what
I
you're
didn't have
saying.
expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's just positive stock.
Yeah,
Now everybody's
exactly.
happy. As opposed to, like, no, we had this financial
Destiny could not charge a
limitation.
monthly fee.
You're probably right.
I'm still just upset about pay to win because people financially
But it's only pay to-
should not
yeah.
be at a disadvantage versus like the people that are putting in all of that time. What if they have hours to spend on the game, but they don't have any money? What if they can't get a job or they're just a kid in high school or something, going to school and playing Destiny? They
Then
don't
they've
have a
got all
job.
the time in the world.
But why should the rich have the advantage? It
Right, but what is the
literally comes
advantage?
down to socioeconomic class warfare.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Someone who plays this game for 200 hours is going to be better at it in the three circumstances where that actually matters. This is not a game where, like, you have a real advantage over someone.
Iron
except for in the
Banner, you have
Crucible.
a huge
right,
advantage.
But if, like, I could buy all the guns in the universe and I suck ass at multiplayer. Like, you got to be good in multiplayer to be good in multiplayer. I don't know.
Still pay to win
I don't know
if it
is.
happens.
pay
I
to
don't think
pay
it
to
is.
get good.
Plus, they also have like level bonus like limits in the multiplayer to like counteract that.
Not an Iron Banner.
I thought they did.
A lot of Destiny knowledge getting dropped. I learned a lot today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Destiny players.
TLDR Destiny
you know what?
is fun but bad.
No, I want to see, yeah, because like hanging out with two other people, like being sick space superheroes is still fun. Like
Yeah,
being on chat.
I've been playing
Yeah.
with Community every
Yeah.
couple nights. Played with Swordfish last night. Played with Blair and Meg. Like, it's a fun game. Just hang out.
I know it is, and so I don't mean to be like, oh, it's a travesty that people are playing it, because it's not. It's still a cool game. Just some of that stuff bums me out. Let's move on. The Overwatch beta starts on October 27th.
Bye, Destiny.
Now we're all going to be playing No Man's Sky on October 27th.
Ooh, so that is okay. We'll skip to that because you even brought it up. October 27th is a big day. That is the day that Halo 5 Guardians is released. That is the day that Sony has its press conference at Paris Games Week. There's a rumor that No Man's Sky might be announced as like it's available today.
Do you think that this is Blizzard? This is like conspiracy tinfoil hat, but do you think this is Blizzard? I know it's not, but what if someone in a back room in Blizzard is like, let's put the Overwatch beta out on October 27th just to prevent a few people from buying an Xbox One?
I mean, that's what I wanted to ask today. I don't think it's too crazy. I want to know if all of those things happening on the same day is a coincidence or not. Is it purely coincidence?
It's like Overwatch this is the PC leg in this fight. If No Man's Sky does come out, which I mean, oh my god, if it did, but like that would be Sony being like, we win, and then Halo is like, Xbox One.
No, it's not like.
I don't think the crossover with.
It's not like that.
I don't think there's much crossover with the press conference in Halo, but Overwatch feels like very.
Blizzard
very
does
pointed.
what Blizzard
Yeah.
wants.
Because that's my other idea is like Blizzard probably isn't even aware of those other two
Yeah,
things.
they've
happening
never
on that
heard
day.
of Halo.
Yeah.
They're like,
They're in their own
what
world.
is Microsoft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really torn on this. Like those are the three big events. Brandon, where do you stand? Is it coincidence or not?
The only thing that would be suspect is Blizzard. I don't think you don't plan a press conference around stuff. Like I think they're totally in a tunnel, just kind of like foreseeing what they need to prepare for that. But I think Blizzard does have a lot of control over whether when that beta starts.
But at the same time, their whole thing is we release our game when it's done. They're on such a, like you said, in a tunnel making their game, and then now it's like just so happens, all right, we're ready for a closed beta of Overwatch. Here we go.
Let's do an interesting thing. On that night, the night of October 27th, which game will be most viewed on Twitch? Overwatch or Halo 5?
Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch. Big
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait,
If they
why are we all
if
saying
they
that?
let you stream it.
All right, fine. I'll take Halo 5. Why are we all saying Overwatch?
It's
Well,
the first time you've seen the game being
First
played
time you've seen
by
the game,
people.
it's on PC, so it's easier to stream.
But like,
Kind of.
Yeah. Mostly. Twitch really comes down to personalities the most. I think. Like when you click on Hearthstone, like the most viewed one is like an established person. You know what I mean?
And those guys are going
Trump.
to be playing Overwatch.
do you think they'll be playing? So what is the deal with Overwatch?
Well, think about this. Like, if you were to go to Twitch when Halo 5 comes out, there's probably going to be somebody in there playing some Halo 4. There's going to be somebody in there playing some Halo Master Chief Collection. Whereas, like, there's just Overwatch. That's it. Like now you search for that word and like that. That's going to be a major thing.
No, you're saying search engine optimization is the reason why Overwatch wins?
No, I'm just saying the mind share of what's happening from Blizzard versus what's happening from
You might
343.
get-
There's
you
just a
might
lot
get
of other
some-
Halo things going on.
You might get some people talking about nitty gritty techno or things in XCOM.
Why is that? What?
Because Overwatch was a mechanic in XCOM.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Worth it. No, I'm
It
gonna say
might
that
get
one was worth
confused
it.
with Firewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't
I-
realize was made by the people who made Transmit,
Oh, it
which
looks
is
so
an
good.
FTP program. Like they've made software up to this point.
Weird.
Nice.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, we normally make this kind of stuff, but we made a game. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was the same company.
That's cool. What?
Yeah, I think Overwatch is just it's like a newer thing. Like it's just it's more interesting because like Halo, there's definitely a lot that they've changed with Halo 5, but Overwatch it's just a totally different dynamic, and so people are going to be curious, and it's closed beta, right? So
Yeah.
everyone's going to have
Oh, is it
Halo,
closed
so
beta?
people are going to be, maybe sick of Halo streams by then, and wanting to check out what this new thing is.
Sick of Halo streams by the night that it comes out?
Absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of streams before it comes out.
Oh man.
But that's a good
ours
point,
included.
though.
You're right.
Scarcity will breed streams.
Yeah. Here's what is.
Oh, and that's the other thing. You could be playing Halo,
Yeah.
and not have access to the
the
Overwatch
beta.
beta. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Maybe that wasn't an interesting bet. Overwatch. I don't get it. I look at the screenshot we have up here in our studio. this just looks like a dumb game to me.
Oh my god.
If you're just a listener, all I see is some cowboy.
You picked that screenshot.
He's got
Kyle.
a buckle.
First of all,
on
that's
his belt.
McCree. Second of all, before you judge this game, you need to watch all of the character
You're right.
lore
I should
videos.
I should watch the video on this guy.
This is a game bursting at the seams with creativity, okay? Blizzard has had the shackles of Warcraft, StarCraft, and Diablo for decades now, okay? Even Hearthstone is a spin-off, technically, of Warcraft. It shares that universe.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm is a MOBA.
but they still have those shackles. They still have the same exact
you're
characters.
still using all those heroes.
This is a MOBA too.
It's easy to look at this game and say, all right, it's another Team Fortress 2 clone. They are taking it to a whole nother level. I mean, giving the sheer amount of characters they've revealed, and the game isn't even in beta yet, is insane. I mean, Team Fortress has, 8 or 9 classes? Getting all these characters, all with unique different abilities. I mean, every character they've shown, again, is just pure creativity. They have so many different move sets and background stories. It's just insane already.
One of the reasons why I'm really excited about the genre and why I see just little flashes of brilliance in Battleborn is like even like in League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm, like my abilities are gonna change, but like the button set is still the same as far as like I got my ability 1 2 3 4. It's like I'm still clicking to go places. Like there's still kind of a similarity between. It's really in the dynamics of like whether you're healing or just tanking or doing damage or like how fast your character is or whether you're spend most time like selecting your teammates or selecting enemies. Whereas in like you switch to any of the characters in this game and everything changes.
Yeah.
Like what whether I'm now focusing on because it's in first person, so like the way you view the environment totally
Everything.
changes. It's like
The way they move through the environment,
I might
every
see,
character.
like even when I was playing Battleborn, like there were parts of the environment in multiplayer maps where like I'd see a ledge and be like, I know I can't jump to that point, so I'm just gonna walk past it and go over to there. Whereas if I'm playing with like a flying character, it's like I can totally get up there. I can teleport up there. I can
Hanzo
grab that enemy
can
right
climb
there.
walls.
Oh wait, I can't snipe that enemy because that's not even what my class does. So it's a bummer I can't do range stuff, but you get close to me and it's over. So like
I usually always pick a class I'm gonna use. This is the first time where I've looked at Overwatch. Again, they've showed like 15, 20 characters. I want to use every single character in that game.
Even McCree.
Dude, McCree's awesome.
I'm kind of down with McCree.
McCree is hype.
Look at his
John
belt buckle.
Marston.
No, it says BAMF on his belt buckle.
Yeah.
That's a little weird genre mixing there. I don't like the junkyard characters. They seem kind of dumb to me.
Dude, one of them can grab a guy with a hook, pull him towards him, and shoot him in the face with a shotgun.
That's pretty cool.
No, that sounds like a League of Legends move. I don't understand the difference. I get they're both great.
Let me put it this way: like, I don't see anyone else in our little, versus Halo, like. Nobody else in our little cadre of freaky weirdos here at GameTrailers is freaking out like that about Halo.
It's
know?
Ben and
Oh,
I.
I see what you're saying.
Ben and I played.
And I think that extends to the real world too.
Ben and I played Overwatch 1 year ago at BlizzCon.
Wait, you've played it?
Yeah, we played it.
Oh, I didn't know you
at
played it.
BlizzCon over a year ago, or basically a year ago.
Yeah.
When we came out of it, not even like cleansed of the hype. In our right minds, we were like, they could release that right now. It is so good and ready and polished. I cannot even imagine how good this closed beta is going to be. Seriously.
That's why that announcement was such a home run. They came out on stage, shit, like new cinema, like
And the game's ready.
the best cinematic trailer you've seen all year. Plus,
Great
awesome
gameplay
gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, and here, check it out.
That's the thing. Like, Blizzard makes bulletproof stuff, and when they make a mistake, they fix it.
Yep.
I respect Blizzard. a
Like
lot.
Diablo
They make
3
good- yeah.
stumbled out of the
Diablo
gate
3
and has
sucked.
been so
And now I
redeemed in the
love
years.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's their community, like we were talking about. Like their community is very important to them,
Yeah.
to make them happy. So
For the
but
company,
again, it's just I just
for the
think
people.
as good as Halo 5 is, another Halo versus this franchise that's unlike anything this developer has ever done before. That's a obscenely popular developer.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's the new Team Fortress 2. I mean, Valve has a reputation. I think Blizzard, in the last couple years, has overtaken them, has dethroned them, especially in the PC world. Valve has kind of taken a back seat, focused more on business, Gabe Newell.
No.
And,
hold on. No.
And
Yes.
yes.
If you go to the most played games on
Yes.
Steam, they still have like top 3.
Yeah, from like 1996.
This is going
No,
to
like,
destroy Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 will
And
be
CSGO?
dethroned.
Is this going to dethrone CSGO as well?
No, CSGO is kind of in its own world, but I could see it taking a share of the market. Absolutely. They're going on esports for this. It has a built-in dedicated observer mode, full-on esports push. This is their next big game. StarCraft has faltered. World of Warcraft has arenas, but that's kind of faltering as well. This is the next esports. Mark my words. Let's bet. Let's bet, Bossman.
I'm not going to bet on it. Actually, I appreciate everything you've explained. You know what I mean?
One of the
'Cause, like,
things too, Kyle,
Yeah,
just to flip
absolutely.
side, because I know I was talking about like your perspective as the characters.
Yeah.
It also affects your targets. It's like if you turn the corner and you see someone at the end of that hallway that
Yeah.
you're going to now have to fight, your tactics totally
Yeah.
change depending on who that is.
You see
know, like-
Reinhardt with a hammer
Yeah.
or Hanzo with a bow, range
Like
character.
it's just like Hearthstone. It's like if you're not taking the time to play with all those classes, you're gonna have no idea what secret they just threw out. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Whereas like you know it's like you play that class for a lot, and then like you switch to another class, and you see them put like oh I'm gonna secretly do this. You're like I know exactly what you're doing because I see what cards you haven't played. Like I know what that is. So it's like if I see some guy and it's like am I gonna throw a grenade at that guy if I know he can teleport? Probably not. You know like am I gonna waste this like cooldown that doesn't come back for 30 seconds on Blink or what's her name like the
Tracer, yeah.
on Tracer? No, because she's gonna see it coming and go away.
Yeah.
And then like
Whereas if it's the big tanky guy, yeah, I'm gonna dump you know my flamethrower
the
on.
beauty
or
of
whatever.
Blizzard too is that in addition to all that like super high level stuff, it's going to be super easy to jump
Super
into
easy,
for
so
people who
fun.
aren't going to go that deep.
Yep.
That's Blizzard wins on like every
Yep.
front generally cuz
Yep.
except for with StarCraft I think, but like they always hit like casual and hardcore
Mm-hmm.
and it's deep enough for both.
Even StarCraft, you have the campaign, and you can play at like the worst league in multiplayer and have a good time. Their goal in StarCraft has always been you win like 50% of your matches, depending if you're the best or the worst. You win about half the time.
I must be worse than the worst.
And I'm probably not gonna spend a lot of time in Overwatch just for preference, you know, just because there's lots of third-person open-world action games I would like to finish before the year ends. But I still recognize that this is just gonna totally dominate.
But
Wow.
like we were talking before, like Blizzard is a company that follows their passion. Like you really get the impression that everything they're working on, they're like, we love this. We've been putting care into it. But then they also have the twin prong of this fork of awesomeness is that they do listen to the community and they say, because you can get blinded when you're just like passion working, and then other people are like, no, this is bad, and they're like, oh, you're right, this is bad. We'll fix it. Oh man, Blizzard is cool. Even though I don't like half of their games, I love Blizzard.
Love Blizzard.
I love everything they're doing. I can't say that with anyone else.
Everything
I love
they've done.
Everything.
Ever.
Diablo's the only thing I'm like, that, you know, not because it's not good.
Dude,
I
if you
just
played
didn't spend a
Diablo
lot of
3 on the
time.
PS4, it's wonderful.
I'm sure it is.
Give it a
I know.
shot. For real.
I know
so good.
No, I know exactly. I can imagine how that thing maps
And
to a
I
controller.
hated
If
it.
you don't finish
I
Diablo
hated
3
it.
by the end of the year,
He's actually playing Metal Gear Solid 5. He's doing it. For the record, yeah, everybody was actually curious about that after that episode because that was your ultimatum.
Yeah.
Brandon
Right.
Jones is playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'm putting more because I got to review games. I
Yeah.
should not be playing MGS5 right
Yeah.
now, but it's very, very good.
Cool. So we'll talk about this very quickly. This is like a. Did you hear about this? Black Ops 3. You can play the campaign out of order. Was announced, or not really. It was an interview with Eurogamer. It was discussed. The campaign can be played in any order. You can play the last chapter first. You can play the middle chapter first, and then play the last one, and then play the first one. What do we think about that?
I think it's.
Does
you
that
wanna go?
mean does it like unlock a cutscene when you've played through everything? Or I don't entirely understand how that works.
Think of it like a Netflix series.
Uh-huh.
You can just watch any episode you want.
Yeah. I think it's fine
I
because
mean-
the percentage of people that finish these campaigns is so small.
Incredibly
it's
small.
so small, and it gives them a chance if somebody is raving to them about Mission 5, you gotta play Mission 5, it's
Yeah.
the only one, then they can be like, okay, I'll play Mission 5, then go back to multiplayer.
Right.
And then for the people that love the campaign, like I'm sure you and me and Jones, everyone's just going to go through in the proper order.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's harming
Well,
anyone.
they name the levels too. It's like, oh, dude, Outbreak. Play Outbreak?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so good. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'll go through. Like,
Yeah.
level 2 of Advanced Warfare, without a doubt, is the best level of that game. Where you're like driving around with Spacey and he's
Oh, yeah.
showing you the facility and like just it
it's-
mirrors, it like starts and
in a
ends in the same
simulation?
place, and
Oh,
it does-
yeah, dude. That
It's
level's
just
great.
Awesome. It kind of comments on like it's kind of like a fabricated Call of Duty level within
Yeah.
a Call of Duty level. Yeah, it's very, very clever. So it'd be great if you played that and you're like, I'm not in multiplayer. I'm
And
not
then
going to waste time with the first mission. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just jump in there. It does make me nervous about the campaign though, because there have been some really good. I think Black Ops 1 was that the one where you're in like the chair the whole time being tortured? Was that Black Ops 1?
2.
Was it 2? Black Ops
1?
2. Whichever one where you're like.
Maybe 1. 1.
I don't know if I know people are like, okay, 1. Yeah. So they do a ruse. A character is revealed to be something that he's not, and it's very clever because the game has kind of lied to you like throughout half the game. So I thought that was really interesting. And there are some, Advanced Warfare 2 puts you in the shoes of a guy murdering tons of people in an airport. There's lots of like moments that are very personal and very interesting as far as like their approach to the morality of war. And when they announced 4-player co-op, I was like, oh, well, I guess that's gone in Black Ops 3. Just that kind
moment.
of that character identity. That like, no, I am this guy.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like when you're adding 3 more players into it, it's just like, hey, you're all soldiers, whatever. It's more important what the people around you are doing, kind of what the world, like, kind of, the events, that like kind of exist throughout all of the missions, not necessarily this one in particular. And then this announcement's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be attached to any of these people. If they're literally, it's like, you can play them out of order. It doesn't,
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. Like level 4, 5, whatever.
But you look at it. You look at the track record. I mean, Black Ops 1 and 2. Those are some of the strongest campaigns in Call of Duty, and you look at what Halo's doing with having Master Chief surrounded by his team and Locke surrounded by his team, and giving each of those characters an identity. So,
but what have we heard about the characters?
Exactly.
I think they're really stepping back and like multiplayer zombies. That'll be focus, and then
Always.
just that concept of like, like just 4-player co-op. That's all you need to say. You don't really need to get into the characters of the story.
Yeah, I think that really has a lot to do with the matchmaking, just so that people can just jump in.
Oh yeah, that's
So you can always get a group of 4. So
It's a great point too.
that's a really good point. I
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know. I think it's cool to see a unique idea come out of Call of Duty. That's rare, huh? Like, it was like, oh, nobody's done that before. It's like, yeah, that's actually, you did it. Like, they are doing things different. They did it. We can't say they're not changing anymore. Okay, so let's move on to, well, you're the one who started this conversation. We'll go with this one from Cool Guy Sports. Do you think that Nintendo will keep glasses less 3D in their next lineup of consoles? Nintendo pretty much perfected the technology with the new 3DS, making it far more intuitive and comfortable to use. Was their willingness to research and invest into improving the concept a sign of things to come? In the same way, one could say that the DSi shop was integrated, and integrated cameras was a sign of things to come with the 3DS Wii U. Or will Nintendo let the gimmick die and consider it to be too expensive to be worth including in the future hardware? I fear it is the latter, but I personally would be greatly saddened if we never see glassesless 3D utilized in its full potential on a high-resolution screen displaying HD graphics. So, does the future of glassesless 3D excite anybody on the panel? Does it have a place in gaming? I imagine games like 3D World, Mario Kart 8, Captain Toad, and stereoscopic 3D on my gamepad, and I poop my pants a little bit. Am I alone?
You are not alone.
I've also pooped my pants.
Yes.
Thinking about 3D?
Glassesless 3D.
Yeah. I think about glasses 3D like VR. It's just when I see it, I'm like, that's cool. Not there yet, but keep on trucking. But it's creepy. Like when you're at like a trade show, you're at like Comic-Con or something, and I like walk by a TV and be like, what is happening right now? And it's like, oh, it's 3D, but I can't stare at that for longer than 10 seconds. But that's cool. And it's like it'll get there.
It makes you feel really
point.
uncomfortable. Those glasses.
Well, it's just you can't move your head at all.
Yeah, you're like,
it's
cool, but I feel like I want to throw up.
Yeah,
but cool.
It's like when you actually have 3D glasses on, and you do this. Like, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, Cool Guy Sports. I think honestly, it might be safe to assume that the NX will not incorporate 3D,
that Nintendo won't continue with it.
Yeah.
But the technology will improve. There's no
Which
doubt.
is so weird because as everyone is making the VR push, Nintendo's just gonna back out of it.
But I mean, 3D is nothing like VR, really.
Yeah.
That's a totally different thing.
Except for that VR is 3D because it has two screens.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's different to put a headset on than to have a flat screen in front of you looking at 3D.
Well,
But
that
as
would
far
be
as
a
like
good
technologies
way to
that are waiting to hit the mainstream, you can't go into a Best Buy right now and buy a glassless 3D television, and you can't go in and buy a VR system like
You can't?
like that. You can't buy.
Okay.
You can't buy a VR system at Best Buy.
No, I don't mean a VR system. I mean the
I don't know that there are
glassesless
any
3D.
glassesless 3D
They had some
TVs
phones. They had some glassesless 3D
Best Buy.
phones.
Yeah, they do.
That would make sense.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Glassless.
Glasses.
I have a question.
Sure.
What are the Cool Guy Sports
Cool Guy Sports is this person's name.
No, I know, but what would the cool guy sports be? Like snowboarding and surfing?
Football is definitely cool guy.
You know what? It could also.
I would disagree.
It could also
You
be
gotta be super
Cool
cool.
Guys
You are not cool if you
Ports.
know football.
It might be Cool Guys Ports.
I think that's what it is. It's probably cool guys.
Port of
ports,
New
like
Orleans.
Port Royale.
Yeah, that's a Cool Guy Port for sure.
Yeah, Port of New Orleans. A lot of
RE4
bad
on the Wii was a good
lieutenants
port.
down there.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
A port for cool guys.
Yeah, not Silent Hill 1. That was a bad port.
We hate docs.
That was a
Hate dogs.
I think it may disappear. I don't know. It's weird.
I remember.
I feel like, yeah, Nintendo may just focus on making NX whatever it is and not worry about 3D right away, and then maybe, again, like, we don't exactly know what this weird line of devices looks like. Maybe some of them will be 3D and some of them won't be 3D, like the 2DS.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting.
I remember going to a friend's house and their kid had a 3DS like the month it came out, and I like went over to him like he just got it for his birthday or Christmas or something, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." I'm like, look at this thing, and I like slid up the 3D slider, and he was like, "What are you?" Like turned it off. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "That's a whole new thing. This is the first game you've ever played on this system, and look, it's 3D." And he was just like offended, just like
The way you show him shoving it
3D
down.
out of my face, like those so telling to me, like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
this is it. You're not even gonna play one game like that, It's
Yeah.
like, wow, it's like that did not only didn't matter to him, it was like gross, just like
Offended.
what? I'm so good. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I do not see them.
I think
with that, unfortunately.
Which is I'm kind of okay with. I
Yeah.
love the 3DS. I have the 3D on. I like it a lot. I'm cool with that being the product for the rest of its life. Like I can go back to my 3DS. They're not going to discontinue it like Rise of Incarnates. It's always going to be there. I can always pick it up and have 3D in there.
It's funny. You can like count on Nintendo for like innovating, but you can't count on them to like keep doing it. Like they always, every time it's a new console, it's just kind of like, there's small discs now. Okay, enough of that.
Well, it's because every console they make some weird choice just to like see.
That's what you can count on.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna make some dumb decision,
Not
and
fair.
once it'll pay off.
No way. We have shoulder buttons thanks to Nintendo. We have D-pads thanks to Nintendo. We have wireless controllers thanks to Nintendo.
We got a lot.
They weren't the first wireless
Nintendo.
controller.
They were the first one that actually worked.
Side bet:
Yeah.
if the
Really?
NX fails, will Nintendo make another console?
No.
Yes.
We're not going to know we're going to be dead and buried by the time we know the end of that. The answer to that question. That's not.
It's coming
Wait,
out
we
soon.
dying soon?
Yeah,
What are you
NX
talking
is
about?
coming soon.
Do you have something to tell us about like
No,
an
I'm talking about
earthquake?
the next console.
Yeah.
The Nintendo console after the NX.
Wii U barely
That's,
lasted.
what,
How many
8
years has it been?
away?
Here's the thing here. I think if the NX fails quickly, they can react quickly and just go in a completely different direction, and they can still do another console even if NX fails.
They've never shown an ability to do anything quickly.
They did a price drop on the 3DS quickly.
That's true.
That was a good reaction. I actually
Yeah,
I admire them
that's
for that.
true.
I don't
the
know. if-
NX has
The-
to be like some perfect new thing, or
I-
they're.
But again, I think the
Yeah.
way the NX sounds, the way that it's being designed, is more of an operating system than a console. I think that it's exactly like they could do whatever. Okay, you don't like that form factor. Okay, we'll put out something else.
Yeah.
And it will still be the NX. You're just getting a different flavor of it that has
That's cool.
more processing or whatever.
Changing on the fly.
I'm gonna get a strawberry NX.
I'm getting vanilla.
It is lunchtime.
So let's do time for bets. Let's talk about our bets this week. Next week, Guitar Hero Live is launching on Tuesday, I believe. One of its modes is called GHTV. This is where it loads in random music videos all day long that you can play along to. Is that correct, Brandon?
That is correct.
Okay.
They're in 30-minute blocks, so they're not totally random.
Oh, okay.
Like a metal song is coming if you're listening to the metal thing, but
Do you
The
think
metal
they're-
block.
and you can see the songs. You can see a full list of all of the songs that are in GHTV.
Do you think that it's like a TV station where there's somebody like programming it song by song, or do you think they like set up a list and then go home for the day?
I think they said it's 30-minute blocks, so I think it's like a 30-minute actual like recorded thing. And
Right.
Those all bump into
Are there
each
like
other.
hosts and stuff?
No,
Personalities?
it's just
hosts.
Oh, okay.
screens and stuff.
So there are two channels. We're going to go on channel 1 before we record next week. The first full song, meaning like we're probably going to go to the channel, we're going to be in the middle of one song. The song after that, the first full song, how long will that music video be? And we're going from first frame of the music video to last frame of the music video.
Because there might be a card that says like, "Here's the next song coming up," but like actually when the music video starts.
Are they all music videos?
And the song might end. The song might end before the music video ends.
Yeah.
The song
Right.
might cut out, and the music video might still keep.
Are
going.
they all music
Like Chris
videos?
Tucker and Michael
or is it
Jackson
like
are still walking
DDR,
out?
where some of them are music videos and some of them
They're
are
all
the
music
graphics?
videos. All music
okay.
videos.
Okay, here's a little thing to
knowledge.
help your bets. StatCrunch.com finds with 95% confidence that the average length of a top 100 song on iTunes falls between 215 and 239 seconds, smashing the long-held myth that most songs are 3 minutes long. They're longer now. So, I believe it is Bloodworth's. Yes, Blood, you are first to reveal.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stay at 3:35.
3 minutes, 35 seconds. Brandon Jones.
3 minutes 10 seconds.
Whoa. Okay.
Going small.
3 minutes, 32 seconds.
Ooh.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, Huber's
got the-
confident
he's
over
You got
here.
the high.
You
I
got the high bet.
Got the high. 347. Got
3
the
minutes,
high.
47 seconds. Yeah, you got the high for cheap,
Yes.
too. That's a cheap high.
Yes. Confident.
All right, let me lock those in.
Like it.
Okay, so let's talk about last week's bet. Dragon Quest Heroes, the world trees woe and the blight below. I failed to name the title. Did release on Tuesday. Dragon Quest historically has had a hard time getting traction outside of Japan. Case in point, at Dragon Quest, the official Dragon Quest Twitter account had 2,515 followers on Twitter. How many will there be at this point this week? Released in the Super Seat, bet 2,900. Blood bet 2,700. Jones. For you, Ben did not sabotage you last week.
Nice.
You bet 3,000. I bet 5,002, thinking there would be a big surge. I even also bet that there would be verified at this point this week. Let me tell you something, they are not verified still. The number of followers is 2,814. This one was a squeaker because anything above 2,800 goes to Super C, anything below goes to Blood, and it just came down to like just that hour. Because what, you did the math that they were getting one follower an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, it's still like, go follow them. Give Dragon Quest some credit. But yeah, the point goes to the Super Seat.
Super Seat. What's score now?
The current score, Super Seat 13, Blood
Yes.
14.
Oh, we're gonna get you, Blood.
Jones now has 6. He has lost his Lightning Bolt, so he's just
But I
playing
got
all
6.
6.
I'll trade it. I would trade that lightning bolt for a point any day of the week.
I want a Lightning Bolt. I'll trade it back. And I have 9 points. Huber, you win an assortment of things. First of all, you win the right and responsibility to tell everyone what your Twitter handle is, yours and yours alone.
Okay.
You get a final word. Anything that was said today that you disagree with, you now have the last say on that. You get to sign us off with your trademark catchphrase. And
And pick a video.
you also get to promote any video you like.
You're gonna have to remind me of all these things.
Cool,
All right.
absolutely.
Twitter is Michael P. Huber.
There's one.
The final word is that microtransactions are bad, don't pay to win, and reward the dedicated players. And then what?
Promote a video.
Promote a video. I did part 1 of 2-part Huber hype of Resident Evil. Get in the spooky Halloween mood. Check that out.
So you're talking about the entire series?
Yeah, the part 1 is Resident Evil 0 through Code Veronica, and then next week will be Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. So we're just doing mainline, 0 to 6.
Are you going to stay positive next week is my main question.
Majority will be positive.
Wait, you're not gonna. Oh, sorry. You're not gonna talk about Revelations 2? That game rules.
I'll throw it a bone. I'll give it a shout out because I do love it.
But then you
I
also
did,
have to toss in Revelations.
Yeah, then I gotta
Nah.
talk about Survivor and
Just
Dead
scoot-
Aim and
scoot by it.
Guidance and
Scoot by
Outbreak.
it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Just talk about
I will-
Revelations 2. Put it
I
on
will.
your queue or
For
something.
you, Ian, I will.
Put it in
I-
the queue.
I
Good
like that
Paul.
game.
There it is.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
the cue.
And then throw us your trademark sign-off.
I don't have a trademark sign off, but stay jolly, stay hyped. It's a big week this week. Why? Because the master himself has released a new film, and that film is called Crimson Peak, and that master is named Guillermo del Toro. Check it out in a theater near you.
Uh,
I love...